Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we'll look into how to use Cursor to generate shader programs. This video is part of a series which I am developing on how to use Cursor for Unity game development. If you have not watched the first video of the series, you can watch it by clicking the link at the top. Now, as we all know, shaders are one of the most important aspects in game development. Without shaders, we cannot get good visual effects for our objects, and we can create a hell lot of effects using shaders. So let's look into how to write shaders using Cursor. So I'm in my project, and initially I'll start with showing one of the shaders that I have already developed using Cursor and what process I used for it. So if I go to Cursor, so what I have done this time is I have written a MD document, which is like just an instructions document, and it defines a Unity shader expert agent. So what I'm trying to do is I have been following videos of Cursor being used in other areas like web development and in what we can say AI, ML, Python programming and all, and how those guys are approaching their work. So what I'm doing is I'm also thinking like how we can use some of the best practices of AI driven development and bring it into game development. So one of the aspects is creating an instructions document, like writing your own agent document. And obviously you can expand on that document as you start experimenting more and more with it. But it's essential to give some thought process while writing prompts. So it is part of prompt engineering, but I'm not asking you to write a very detailed prompt in every question. So instead of every time writing a detailed prompt, why not create a single process which simplifies your prompt? So I'll explain you how it's done. So let's say I have created this document, and in this document, if you see, I have given this agent a role and expertise. So I've written, you are an expert in Unity shader programming with extensive knowledge of computer graphics, render pipelines, and game development. Your expertise covers Unity's built-in render pipeline, universal render pipeline, high definition render pipeline, shader lab and HLSL programming, graphics optimization techniques, and visual effects creation. So I'm trying to give it some focus areas like what is your expertise on. I've also given some communication guidelines like use clear, concise language when explaining technical concepts, adapt your explanations to the user's perceived level of expertise, and some two more points. No, don't worry, I'll be giving you the link to this agent document in the description. You can obviously expand on it, and let me just tell you, it's not a very perfect document. It's just a starting point. I'll be expanding on it, and as I go through further experimentation, I can also share with you later on a more evolved version of it based on my experiments. But with this starting point, I have got like quite decent result. So then I have given it some prompt engineering best practices, so you can go through it later on. But yeah, like how you have to break down the shader task into smaller manageable steps. You have to ask the clarifying questions. You have to offer alternative approaches. And then I have given a thinking process for shader development, how you have to think while developing a shader. So whenever you are working with AI, think like you are assigning a task to a junior developer. So your AI agent is not someone, or your AI model is not someone who is like an expert. So he may be expert in his knowledge, but he's not an expert in listening. In listening, he is like a junior developer who needs to be given clear instructions of what you want from him. So that's why I have given some requirements here, like you have to do some requirement analysis. You have to ask what is the desired visual effect or functionality, anything. And then some conceptualization, architectural planning, implementation strategy, optimization considerations, testing and refinement. And then I have given Cursor specific instructions, like what you have to do while doing it. And then for building rendering the pipeline, I have also added. So obviously some of these points I have been using other tools like Perplexity, Claude to develop these agents. So obviously not every word I have written by my own hand. Some of it is my knowledge, and some of it is like referring through, like you have to refer to other documents. If let's say if you want to integrate some external API, you have to go and refer to that document. It's the same role as you do as a software engineer or a game developer. You refer the document, but then you take out those code snippets, you take out those instructions and put it in your instructions document so that you are giving the right instructions to your agent. So that's why URP, HDRP, I have added what are the essential things and what are the best practices to emphasize while writing the shader code. So how to use this document? So in the left side, if you see, I started with, I want your help to develop a shader. And then from there, I just gave this, attach this .md file. So now with this question, it is going to refer this file for his knowledge. So that's what he's going to base his instructions knowledge on. So it says, sure, to help you develop a shader, could you please provide more details about what you're looking to achieve? So it gave me what is the desired visual effect or functionality of the shader, which render pipeline are you using? Are there any specific performance requirements or constraints? Do you have any existing code or templates that you want to build upon? So now you should think how to develop these agents. So now you'll get some ideas on it. So what I did was, I just took some video from Unity. I just look at some video and then I took the snapshot of this character. Like let's say I want to develop a toon shader. So what I did is I took the snapshot and I attached the image here. So if you see in this video, I'm not going to show the live demonstration, but I'm going to show the process. I'm going to show you I'm showing you the workflow, and you can obviously replicate this workflow in your things. So because in live demonstration, generally in AI related live demonstrations, it's like it can go anywhere. It can give you a desired output. It may not give you a desired output, but obviously I'll tell you, I have got this, I'm showing you entire things. I will also show you some errors that I have got here. So, but this video is more on the workflow. Later on, I'll make some more videos in which I will show you live demonstration as well. But this video is more about the workflow. So I attached this image here. I also attached this file here once again, and I just gave him step-by-step answers to each of these points. Like the first point is, what is the desired visual effect or functionality? So I wrote see image for desired visual effect. I want to create a toon shader. Second is, it asks which render pipeline are you using? So what I did, I wrote URP. Actually, my project is in built-in render pipeline, and I just gave it URP. But later on, it caused issues, which I will show. So then I'll ask third point. It asks third points like, are there any specific performance requirements or constraints? I just told it, okay, it should work on MetaQuest device at 60 FPS, so just be performant, and there are no existing templates. So with this instruction, it started writing a basic toon shader using Shader Lab HLSL for URP. So it wrote this shader code, and it also gives some information like what this shader includes. To use this shader, what you have to do. And it's the same thing which we all know, like just apply the shader to a material and everything. You need to, if you know it, you can directly do it without even reading. And then it said for optimization of MetaQuest, keep the shader simple, avoid complex calculations. So with this, I just predicted, I think it might not be so optimal because it is giving further instructions. We may need to write further, what we can say, questions to it, and we may need to ask it to do these calculations for us. But with this initial thing, what I got was, I got this error. So if you see this, I got this error. And then I just told him like, okay, I got this error. So it said, okay, apologize for the confusion, but then it was not able to figure out the issue. But later on, what I did, I copied all the errors. I just gave it one error, but later on I copied all the errors it gave and just pasted it. And what it then found out, like it understood that my project is not set up for URP. It is set up for built-in render pipeline, and it went ahead and wrote the entire code. It rewrote the entire code for the built-in render pipeline. And I applied it to this file. Again, And I'll now show you how it looks. I created a material out of it, and you see the sphere. This is how the shader looks. So I just applied it to a sphere, but you can see there's outline width. I can create the outline. So now these are the outline shaders that you get for $4, $5 on Unity Asset Store. And now, even if you don't have any knowledge of shader programming, but you have the ability to research, you have the ability to break down stuff, you have the ability to write down these kind of agentic instructions, and you can build a shader for yourself. This is a very entry level thing, but you can see how good it is. See the shader threshold. I'm playing with the shader threshold. If I want, I can play along with the colors. This is just for a simple object. You can apply it to any object. And with different colors, I can get different effects as well. So I have not yet applied a texture to it, but maybe with the texture, it will give some weird result. But yeah, you can see with the texture also, it is applying texture as well. So yeah, that's all it is. So this is the way you can start doing some shader programming using Cursor. I'll share the link to this document. I'll be expanding more on it. I'll be experimenting more on it, and whatever get insights from this process, I'll be sharing on this channel. So stay subscribed, like this video, share it with your friends, and do experiment a lot, guys. The landscape is changing, AI is changing, everything. It is going to impact everything. It's good to have basic knowledge. It's good to have even intermediate or expert level knowledge, but it will be beneficial for you if you also start learning the new way of working, the new way which is AI driven, and make your game development more efficient. So that's it in this video. Thank you everyone who are following this. We are soon going to reach 100 subscribers, and please help me in getting more subscribers on this channel so that I could make these kind of videos in future. Thank you. Thanks a lot.